Welcome to Besiege Bots, the real home of robotic combat in Besiege. In this episode, we kick off our second major tournament from 2020, the Summer Slammathon. As I've mentioned before, we have a few tournaments to get through before we catch up to the current 2021 tournament season. Summer Slammathon will once again feature two weight classes, being the Superheavyweight and Weight classes, our largest and smallest weight classes respectively. Before we get to the matchups, I wanted to mention some things now to answer questions people may have later on. Unfortunately, neither Team Archaon or Team Overdosed decided to enter this tournament, however we still have many strong teams and a few new teams vying for the title. The first episode will feature the Super Heavyweight class, and then the weight class will alternate back and forth between episodes. Now finally, we can get to this episode's matchups. Kicking things off, we have two very strong teams, being former tournament champions in Team Locrian and Frogment Robotics, who will be taking on a team that are always in contention for the Most Destructive award, Team Wasted Potential. In our main event for this episode, we see the champions of the previous Super Heavyweight tournament, the Diddlers, looking to defend their place at the top against Super Heavyweight Slaughter's 4th place finisher, Team Rickety Androids. These two teams will be joined by our SPC Lightweight champion team, the United Lunch Alliance. Our first spot of the tournament, Blink Engine, comes to us from Team Locrian, an American team who have a previous tournament crown from Spring Bash Cup 2019. Team Locrian are known for their highly competitive designs and could make a deep run with this powerful bar spinner. Up next we have Koutetsujou from the Taiwanese Team Wasted Potential, who are known for their destructive creations. Koutetsujou makes use of some new building techniques that were allowed for this tournament and may have the most powerful weapon in the tournament if they can get it up to speed. Our final entrant for the first fight of Summer Slammathon is Steve in a Torture Cage from Ireland's Frogment Robotics. Frogment Robotics are known for their driving skill, and with this creative lifter design and solid durability, they have a good shot at taking down the two spinners in this matchup. And we're underway with fight number 1 of Summer Slammathon, kicking things off with some of the heaviest hitters in the competition, with Blink Engine and Koutetsujou. Blink Engine, a very reliable spinner. Koutetsujou a bit less reliable over near that arena flipper corner there. They gotta look out for that, because if they do get flipped over, they don't have a way of self-righting, to my knowledge. Some really heavy hits early on. Steve's lost basically its whole flipper. It still has the mechanism, it can flip, but like the actual flipping arm itself is completely destroyed. Blink Engine landing hits on Koutetsujou, which is not spinning up. It seems the judges are deciding whether Koutetsujou is allowed to spin up or not, due to the fact that spinning up might cause it to go over its diameter, which would be illegal and could lead to a disqualification. So, while the judges are deciding that, they're not spinning up, and they're taking even more damage from Blink Engine. Steve is having a rough time in the corner now, getting bullied by Blink Engine, who is really taking control of this fight. This is starting to become very one-sided. If Koutetsujou is ruled that it's not allowed to spin up, which it seems like it has been. Oh no, they're spinning up now. So I guess the judges ruled that they are allowed to spin up. But they're having some trouble getting up to speed as they bounce off the wall there. And they're trying to make space away from Blink Engine while Steve is just having a very sad time trying to drive. He's hardly mobile, though Steve himself is probably quite happy as he has been released from the torture cage due to the fact that the arm split. Ooh, Steve lost another wheel on that hit and is destroyed over in that corner. It's probably being counted out. While Blink Engine and Koutetsujou are hitting each other with some massive force. Koutetsujou seeming to get the better of these hits now that it's up to speed. It seems Steve has been ruled as being KO'd. I think the credit on that's probably going to go to Blink Engine. So that's really good if this goes to a judgment for Blink Engine. They're probably winning on control, aggression, and damage at this stage. But Koutetsujou, all it needs is one proper hit, and it could absolutely destroy Blink Engine, but it's probably going to have to hit that back chassis, because that front end is all but invincible due to the building methods used. He could snipe the ooh, and slams it into the wall hard enough that the back chassis snapped. Wow. I did not see that coming. That is a heavy hit. And Koutetsu spins down now. Seems like maybe Blink Engine's being counted, or maybe the judges are recalibrating whether it should have been allowed to spin up at all. I'm not too sure. Koutetsu starts spinning up again, lands another hit on Blink Engine, which is still moving, but barely. Ooh, as another hit flips the halves around, and it seems like Blink Engine's gonna have to get those halves back the right way if it wants to keep driving. But that's it. Blink Engine has been counted out, which makes Koutetsujou the winner by double KO, and Steve showing they could still move at the end. That's unfortunate. Koutetsujou moves on to the round of 16. Blink Engine and Steve go into the redemption round. Creep is an extremely fast front hinge style flipper from the Netherlands Institution of Insanity. Creep's speed and the durability of its front armor combined with the hyper-aggressive driving from the Institution of Insanity on paper are a deadly combination that could go far in the tournament. Owari is a very nice looking art bot from 999 Robotics representing Indonesia. As can clearly be seen, it is based on an aircraft carrier and can use the plane on top as a projectile. Unfortunately, looks are just about its only strong point. Finally, we have Tiger Shark, another well-themed robot, this time a crusher from the Australian team Style and Substance Robotics. Similar to Owari, Tiger Shark is a bot built primarily for looks, although its crusher is surprisingly potent when it can actually get a hold of another bot. Now we're underway with fight number 2 here, as we see Creep taking on Tiger Shark and Owari in what is sure to be a pretty interesting contest. Creep definitely the heavy favorite in this one, as Tiger Shark gets launched and flipped early. Tiger Shark can get up, but it has to rock itself back towards that left side, as Creep comes in and flips it again. Another time, Owari is KO'd. It has no way of getting up. Oh, Tiger Shark just barely manages to get back over. And Creep goes and tips Owari back up the right way, because I believe the driver said he wants a double Uda in this fight over the 2 heaviest bots in the competition. And I think he just got Tiger Shark. Yeah, Tiger Shark is not in the arena anymore. And, whoa, there goes Owari not quite. But one of its treads is gone, and it has no way of getting up. He could just leave it alone, and it would already be a win by Uda and KO. But evidently he woke up and chose violence, so he wants to get the double Uda again on the 2 heaviest bots in the competition. Ooh, not quite, but the other tread is gone. So now Owari like triple dead. It can't get up, it doesn't have treads, so it can't even really move. And not over the wall. You can see the plane just sitting there in the background. It's quite funny. Oh wait, it actually can move. And actually probably faster than with the treads. Oh, and there it goes, and it loses the whole bottom part. Creep wins by double Uda. Not really a surprise there. Creep is extremely dangerous. Creep moves on to the round of 16. Owari and Tiger Shark go into the redemption round. Aurora comes to us from France's Mist Inc. and lives up to the team's reputation for destructive bots sporting an absolutely massive spinner. Team Mist Inc. are coming off a top 4 finish in SBC 2020 and will be looking to carry that momentum forward to this tournament. Next up we have Metallica, a powerful pneumatic flipper from Sweden's Team Yeedior. Team Yeedior have been a somewhat up and down team throughout Besiege bot's history, but they have their sights firmly set on the crown, with this bot having a lot of time dedicated to its fine tuning. Last but certainly not least, we have a shredded nightmare called Unholy from a rookie team from the USA, Team Pain Squared. In spite of being rookies, they've picked up on building techniques quickly and have put together a very scary vertical spinner to compete in this tournament. And now starts fight number 3. I haven't had a whole lot of time to talk about the teams in the previous fights, as they've been pretty action-packed, and I don't think this one's going to give me a whole lot of time either, as we cut to a shot of the camera rig up there. Unfortunate. So the cameraman forgot to lock onto someone. Big flip from Metallica onto Unholy. Aurora over in the red corner doing a full arena charge that we get to see. As Unholy tosses Metallica and Aurora gets a big hit on both bots, breaking one of the treads off of Unholy. The 3 teams in this match, we have Team Pain Squared, who are one of our 2 rookie teams for this tournament. Then you have Team Mist Inc., who placed 4th. Ooh. And actually beat Team Yeedior in the preliminaries of Spring Bash Cup. So he'll be looking to beat them in the prelims yet again, but Metallica is a very good bot. Team Yeedior have spent a long time working on this bot, specifically for this tournament, to be as competitive as they can possibly make it. You see it's got quite a floppy chassis, which makes it hard to break. But it has had a wheel ripped off by Aurora. Aurora doing a really good job in this fight so far. Ripped like a whole massive chunk out of the front left side of Unholy as well. I think it ripped all the front armor off, actually. This is just some very impressive hits. Unholy getting a nice hit onto Metallica. Aurora. Oh, and a massive flip by Metallica onto Unholy. Almost sends them out of the arena, but not quite. Metallica behind Aurora, looking for a flip, but Aurora gets a hit on Unholy, which whips it back around to face Metallica just in time. Metallica angling for another flip on Unholy, which turns this weapon off smartly so they don't end up throwing themselves out of the arena. They're down to 1 tread left on Unholy. That is very scary for them, as I think they have a bit of trouble being mobile. I think they are still mobile if they lose that last tread, but it would be questionable. Metallica is just bullying Aurora around at this point. Aurora not able to do too much damage to Metallica just yet. Ooh, as it bends, I think, the front left side somewhat. I think it snapped a connection in that front left side armor, which has bent one of the forks. Metallica's flipper still operating at full capacity as they get under Unholy but miss the flip, as Unholy is very front heavy, so they really just tip them over. Oh, that back left side of Metallica is looking rough too. Unholy stuck on the pit wall there, but they throw themselves down. This is absolute carnage so far. All these teams are just going after one another. Unholy probably getting the worst of it so far, but it's had a couple good hits. Oh, and it's lining up for a hit on Metallica. Metallica squeezes past and slams Aurora into the wall there as Aurora hits it. Aurora both also now going after Unholy. Oh, Metallica's flipper, their whole chassis is bent, which is causing their flipper to be up off the ground. They're trying to fix it. This is coming down to the wire. It's the last 30 seconds. I think Aurora might have... No, okay. Aurora still hasn't taken any damage, which is quite surprising because it doesn't have a very strong chassis. But Unholy just hasn't been able to hit the chassis yet, and Metallica doesn't really deal damage in that way, as Metallica pushes Unholy into Aurora. And Aurora gets a last big hit on Unholy that broke part of... Oh, it broke the right side weapon strut, but that's time. We'll see how the judges saw this one with our new fancy judgment graphic. And we see it's a 17-15-13 in favor of Metallica. Aurora very close to winning it on damage, but Metallica gets revenge for SBC and will move through to the round of 16, while Aurora and Unholy go into the redemption round. First up, from our Superheavyweight Slaughter Championship winning team, the Diddlers from the Netherlands, we have Bottom Feeder 5. Bottom Feeder is a powerful full body spinner that makes use of some new tech that allows it to move while spinning, which has up until this point in Besiege bots been near impossible. Up second in this matchup, we have Super Heavyweight Slaughter's 4th place finishing team, Rickety Androids, with their returning bot Dysphagia. With their newly upgraded machine, they'll be looking to take their placing even higher than last time and are aiming all the way for the top. Our final bot for this episode is Unstable Isotope, a hybrid undercutter and vertical spinner from SBC's lightweight champions, the United Lunch Alliance from Canada. The bot can switch during the match from being an undercutter to a vertical spinner, however, due to the mechanism required to do this, it has a somewhat frail weapon mount. And now we kick things off in the main event of episode 1 as we see our former Super Heavyweight champions, the Diddlers, and reigning Super Heavyweight champions rather, the Diddlers, with their new bot, Bottom Feeder 5, taking on Dysphagia, the bot they beat in the semi-finals to make that grand final, with Bulwark was their championship-winning bot. And we see the United Lunch Alliance with their very interesting bot, Unstable Isotope, which has chosen to be a vert in the early going, but moves back to being an undercutter now, as their weapon is still going. They do need to be careful though, because I feel like Bottom Feeder is at just the right height to kill their motor on a good hit. So they do need to be careful. Dysphagia's already lost 2 wheels. I think it might have actually lost 1 wheel. Oh, it's lost 3 wheels, I'm sorry. Wow, Bottom Feeder is scooping wheels off left and right. Dysphagia taking a lot of damage. We get a nice shot of the Aurora flipper there. Seeing its handiwork. Yeah, Dysphagia still on 1 wheel, gets some nice hits on Unstable Isotope as he gets thrown into it by Bottom Feeder. Dysphagia kind of backing up into that corner. Not sure. They've been ruled mobile, and that's what I was saying to be careful of with Unstable Isotope, is their whole weapon bar actually gets ripped off by Bottom Feeder. Very unfortunate for them. Unlikely the United Lunch Alliance is going to be able to win this fight now. It would require some kind of miracle where both other bots KO each other at the same time. But Dysphagia landing some good hits. Dysphagia not out of this fight by any... Ooh, now it might be. I was about to say not out... I think I've just commentators cursed them. I was about to say not out of this fight by any means, and then... one side of their weapon mount breaks, which is going to cause their spinner to be quite floppy in there, and that will cause some serious issues. As Bottom Feeder just spinning up in the middle, showing off that this new multi-brain technology with the automation blocks is definitely to be feared, as Dysphagia loses like a whole chunk out of that right side there. Unstable Isotope still just driving around, but it can't really do much of anything. It doesn't have much pushing power, as there's a lot of blocks invested to be able to make the weapon be able to adjust from undercutter to vertical spinner. I'm glad we got to see it though. It's definitely an interesting piece of tech. And I'll definitely be in consideration for the most original design award, I would imagine. Ooh, another big hit from Bottom Feeder. Bottom Feeder just controlling this fight. Dysphagia, I'm not sure if their weapon is actually completely broken or if they're just choosing not to spin up. But if they don't spin up, there's a 0% chance they win this fight unless Bottom Feeder explodes on the wall or the rollers. And I don't see that happening. The Diddlers are too good of a team to let something like that happen. Though, that said, it did happen to them in SBC with Krakatoa losing after exploding. Well, now they can't spin up because their weapon has been ripped out of their robot. So, Bottom Feeder almost certainly going to win this one massively on damage, I would imagine. Probably also control and aggression, if I'm honest. Bottom Feeder is just dominating this Rumble so far. Unstable Isotope didn't really get a chance to do much of anything after getting its weapon ripped out, and it didn't do a whole lot in the early going either. Oh, Unstable Isotope's flipped over. I'm not sure it can self-right now that the weapon's gone. It's trying to tip itself up. It wasn't counted out, so it's still going to be a three-way judgment. I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's going to go. A 25-11-9 in favor of bottom feeder. Dysphagia got the 11, Unstable Isotope the 9. Dominant win from the Super Heavyweight Slaughter champions. Bottom feeder 5 will be moving into the round of 16, while Dysphagia and Unstable Isotope go into the redemption round. That's it for this episode. Our 4 bots heading into the round of 16 are Koutetsujou, Creep, Metallica, and Bottom Feeder 5. Meanwhile, getting a second chance in the redemption round are Blink Engine, Steven a Torture Cage, Owari Da, Tiger Shark, Aurora, Unholy, Dysphagia, and Unstable Isotope. In the next episode, we will begin the Beaterweight Bracket Preliminary round. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please leave a like, comment, and consider subscribing. If you're interested in joining our community, follow the Discord link in the description. And from everyone in the Besiege Bots Discord, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you soon.